Three men who were inside a van and witnessed an ICE officer fatally shoot a Mexican man from Houston say that officer was never threatened, was not in danger, and was never even in front of the van. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager. Today we also learned Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was not ICE's intended focus for this operation. Shaun Rabb in studio now with more from leaders who are calling for greater scrutiny of this case. Shaun.
Yes, and Lorenzo Salgado Araujo in this country 35 years and in process of becoming a citizen. The others in that work truck Tuesday, including his brother being detained, they dispute the agent's assertion that he was trying to run them down with his work truck.
We have orders from that White House to just pick up everybody that they can any way that they can.
52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was killed Tuesday during an attempted traffic stop by ICE agents in Houston, as arrests by ICE agents ballooned to over 10,000 in a recent 5-day period. Much of what ICE first related about the fatal confrontation has been walked back. Houston Representative Sylvia Garcia spoke with the acting ICE director.
He confirmed that Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was not the target of the operation, nor was his brother, who was a passenger in the vehicle.
Garcia says the acting ICE director told her agents were searching for someone with a final removal order, and the ICE officers believed that person was in the work vehicle. But the director could not clearly identify who that was to Garcia. And the feds are not releasing the name of the ICE officer involved in the fatal gunfire. None of the ICE agents wore body cameras, and none of the vehicles had dashboard cameras that captured the shooting. DHS says Salgado Araujo tried to ram an ICE vehicle during the chase, and that an officer fired in self-defense. An attorney for the men detained during the incident says his clients claim that is not the case.
This has become a pattern where ICE agents claim that they used their vehicle as a deadly weapon, that they tried to run over the agents, and the agents shot in self-defense. But all three of my clients reiterated that at no point was there ever an agent standing in front of the vehicle, nor was an agent ever placed in the line of danger.
Houston's police chief sent this letter to both the Department of Justice and FBI, writing, HPD recognizes the seriousness of the matter, adding, I will make all appropriate resources available to help with the investigation. That offer has not been accepted, and the district attorney's office was not allowed in to do a parallel investigation with the feds.
When someone in our community loses their life at the hands of law enforcement, that is the ultimate breach of trust with our community. And if we aren't transparent, if the people don't believe that we are actively investigating and holding ourselves and law enforcement accountable, we will lose that trust so quickly.
The Harris County District Attorney really sending that message for whoever's listening at the federal level. Houston's mayor says he will not rest until there is an independent, thorough investigation. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo had no criminal record, father of U.S. children, not the target of any ICE enforcement effort, and was in the process of becoming a legal citizen. The three men with the home builder being held in Montgomery County at a processing center by ICE.